This slide explains the idea of the Superman. In this view, morality is not based on mercy or compassion, but on power and strength. The main goal of humanity is not the improvement of the masses, but the rise of a higher individual. Society, therefore, exists only as a tool to strengthen exceptional people, not as an end in itself. According to this idea, humanity as a whole cannot be reformed because only individuals truly exist. Nature tends to protect the average person and suppress exceptional individuals. So natural selection only cannot produce the higher man. For this reason, human selection and control education are considered necessary. This slide focuses on marriage and education in the idea of the higher man. Marriage is understood not as a personal romantic choice, but as the will of two individuals to create a human being greater than themselves. The desire for children must come from strength, self-mastery, and freedom, not from instinct, boredom, or loneliness. Before marriage, self-development is essential, both physically and spiritually. Humanity, according to the view, cannot rise without sound thought and controlled upbringings. Reason alone is not enough. It must be supported by strength, vitality, and discipline.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad ZAHIRUL NORAZMAN, and I will continue to summary on page 382 to 383. It is about the higher human. The higher human rises above ordinary ideas of good and evil. True good is courage and strength, while weakness and fear are considered evil. It is means by he loves adventure and struggle, but only with a purpose. Challenges, wars, and revolutions can reveal hidden greatness. And key qualities about this is about activity, intelligence, and pride must be balanced. Emotions of an individual must be guided by a noble goal to create a strong, balanced personality. Self-discipline is essential. The higher human makes himself a goal and uses any means to achieve it. And those who only follow instincts or feelings are weak and unable to say no when it is needed. And continue to summary on page 384 about supporting great individuals and society. People who want progress should recognize and support truly great individuals. If we cannot be great ourselves, we should serve and assist those who are. Example of millions of Europeans devoted themselves to Napoleon, offering their lives willingly for his goals. And the path to the higher human is aristocracy, not democracy, which slows progress by focusing on equality and counting votes. Christianity promoted equality and humility, which challenged privilege but also limited the rise of exceptional individuals. Teachings like he who is great among men must be their servant suit ordinary people, but may conflict with the development of the higher human. True greatness emerges only when society allows extraordinary individuals to rise above the common crowd.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Amirun Irfan, metric number 073379. Today, I will present the summary of the modern philosophy by Zaki Nakil Mahmud and Ahmad Amin, focusing on page 385 to 386. Okay, on the page 385, the author explained the Christianity weakness, the old Europeans aristocracy and erased traditional virtues. The contrast with the Teutonic invasion, which is revised masculinity and formed modern ruling classes. The author also rejects the idea of the social contract. He argued that the state originated from domination by conquering elites who ruled through force, not moral agreement. Over time, Christian values and intermarriage with lower class corrupted and ruling elites. Protestantism and Wagnerian Europe further contributed to the decline of Germany culture, making society hostile and culture and resistant to new philosophy. Next, on page 386, the author claimed the Germany's defeat the Napoleon damaged culture and lead to excessive nationalism. This result in the suppression of great thinker and the decline of German philosophy. However, Germans are still described as disciplined, serious, and hardworking with strength in science and military organization. The author suggests that cooperation between Germany and Russia could create an era of great political power. Finally, French culture is presented as a heightened model of European civilization, known for clarity and intellectual refinement. In conclusion, these pages critiques modern Europe culture and highlight the author's preference for power, hierarchy, and French intellectual tradition. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad MEDINA MUNAWWARAHMATHUDDIN Al-Habib Muhammad, metric number 073665. Today, I will present modern philosophy and academic presentation on the story of modern philosophy by Zaki Naquib Mahmud and Ahmad Amin, based on page in my presentation summary on page 387. Alright, European refinement and moral elevation and noble feeling originate from all France in between 16th until 17th centuries. The French Revolution destroyed the aristocracy, weakening the cultural spirit of modern France. Despite this, France remains culturally superior, excelling in science, psychology, and art. Russia represents raw power and iron will, governed by a strong state and poised for expansion in Europe. Italy embodies the highest human development marked by aristocratic male lines and pride across all classes. England is portrayed negatively, blamed for spreading the illusion of democracy and reducing culture to utilitarianism. Democracy is seen as a product of commercial societies, fostering extreme competition and hostility. The text ends with a challenge: who will free Europe from England and England from democracy? Then, summary on page 388. Democracy deserves social unity, glorifies mediocrity, and suppresses excellence and greatness. The rule of the majority destroys moral order and prevents the rise of higher individuals. Free spirit and great men are rejected by the masses and degraded by electoral politics. Natural distinction, both individual and between the sexes, are eroded. Effeminacy is presented as a consequence of democracy and Christian morality. Equality between man and woman is declared impossible due to inherent conflict. Woman's fulfillment is confined to motherhood. Man is reduced to a means toward that end. Society should prepare men for war and women to support warriors. The perfect woman surpasses the perfect man. but is exceedingly rare. I will continue with my friends. My friends will continue the presentation. That's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad AIMAN HAZRIQ bin HALIM, metric number 074329. Inshallah, today I would like to present about critique marriage, equality and socialism from a philosophical perspective. Marriage is seen as fulfilling for women, but it often limits men's freedom and drains their intellectual energy. Once a man marries and has a family, his life becomes centered on responsibility rather than creativity or deep thinking. As a result, his philosophical voice and originality may weaken. The text also rejects the idea of absolute equality. Human beings are naturally different in their abilities, strength, and capacity, and forcing equality ignores this natural reality. Because of this, democracy excessive emphasis on equality is said to give rise to socialism and anarchism. According of this view, nature itself is based on hierarchy and struggle, not sameness. Life progress through competition rather than uniformity. Therefore, socialism is interpreted as a form of envy where weaker groups resent the strength and success of the stronger. Overall, the argument emphasizes that hierarchy, different and individual strength are essential parts of human nature and society. After that, discuss a critique of wealth and modern society. True nobility is not shown through comfort or status, but through resistance and the courage to rebel against oppression. A person becomes noble only when they refuse to live as a passive slave. The bourgeois or the modern middle class are described as slaves to money and mechanical labor. Their life revolves around routine work and constant production. Because of this obsession with wealth, they gradually lose the ability to think deeply, create ideas, or appreciate intellectual values. When wealth becomes the main goal of life, it destroys creativity and weakness the intellect. Money, when pursued for its own sake, degrades the human soul instead of elevating it. Therefore, wealth should have a noble purpose. It should serve higher value, such as culture, arts, knowledge, and thoughtful reflection, rather than being treated as the ultimate aim of a human life. That's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.